question that we face this evening is this. In the light of the fact that the oppressed peoples of the world are rising up against that oppression, in the light of the fact that the American Negro is rising up against his oppression, the question is this: how will the struggle for justice be waged? And I think that is one of the most important questions confronting our generation. As we move to make justice a reality on the international scale, as we move to make justice a reality in this nation, how will the struggle be waged? It seems to me that there are two possible answers to this question. One is to use the all too prevalent method of physical violence. And it is true that men throughout history have sought to achieve justice through violence. But we all know the danger of this method. It seems to create many more social problems than it solves. And it seems to me that in the struggle for justice, that this method is ultimately futile. If the Negro succumbs to the temptation of using violence in his struggle for justice, unborn generations will be the recipients of a long and desolate night of bitterness. And his chief legacy to the future will be an endless reign of meaningless chaos. That is still a voice crying through the vista of time, saying to every potential Peter, put up your sword. And history is replete with the bleached bones of nations and communities that failed to follow this command. So let us move from this method. This is one method. This is one way to seek justice through violence. But it seems to me that the weakness of this method is its futility. It creates many more problems than it solves. But that is an alternative to violence. We may think of this alternative as a method of non-violent resistance. For you see, it is possible to achieve justice through non-violence. This method has been made famous in our generation by the work of Mohandas K. Gandhi, who lived in India not many years ago, and who used this method to free his people from the political domination, the economic exploitation and humiliation inflicted upon them by Britain. And he, I imagine, proved more than anybody else in the modern world that this can be an effective method in seeking justice, in seeking to break a loose from oppression.